Okay, hello, my name is Amanda Greenthumb. I'm a mom, certified health coach, and blogger at amandagreenthumb.com. And today I'm talking with Sara, and she is one of our past clients from This Round of Balanced and Beautiful. And today we're going to be talking a little bit about her story and her experience. So thank you so much for joining us today. I'm excited. And yeah, we can just get started, and maybe you can tell our viewers just a little bit about like your hesitations around getting started or what life was like before the program.
So my initial hesitation would have to be that I was worried financially if I could afford it. I don't know why that was such a big thing for me. I guess just being on mat leave and not having as much income coming in, I felt that I didn't know if I wanted to invest that much, or I didn't want to spend that much money, but realistically it's not that much, and it's your investment into yourself. So that was my initial. And then I think you brought up something about how investing in yourself, and I really believe that that's true, because that's really important. And then also I was worried that I wouldn't be able to complete the program because I have started things in the past and then not followed through. But yeah, you said hesitations, and was that one? Yeah.
And then I mean, those are really good points. I think a lot of people have those concerns, especially around like starting something and not finishing it, especially because that tends to be what happens in a lot of programs, like especially when that accountability and that support is not there. And obviously you did finish the program. But yeah, what was life like before? Like, were you noticing any common problems or concerns?
I didn't have very much confidence. I felt before I had my daughter that I felt very confident. And I don't know why, maybe just having a baby and it changes, it's a totally different life. It changes you, and it changes your surroundings, your groups of stuff and things you do. So I felt not as confident as I used to be. Maybe not as confident as being a mother. Even just being in relationships with friends, I didn't feel as confident. But so that was a huge shift with doing the program. I felt a lot more confident, and
yeah, that's awesome. I know like being a mom is definitely hard, but I think too a lot of times it comes with a lot of judgment. Like, you know that people are judging what you're doing all the time, and I think that's one thing we talked about in the program too, just like if you don't want to deal with judgment, don't become a mom, because it doesn't ever end. But I think that that's a really huge thing. I know just from doing the program with you and working through a lot of things, I think that is a huge shift that you saw, just how, it's not about not being judged, it's about dealing with the judgment better, like being able to say, like, I actually, what you think about me doesn't influence my happiness, and so it's really huge. And I mean, we did talk about a little bit of the hesitations and what it was like before, and do you want to just maybe talk about like your experience through the program, what kind of things you enjoyed, what kind of things were really helpful to you?
I really liked the accountability, even though some of the stuff I did miss, but I did really enjoy that because it really kept me on track. It really kept me accountable, and that's something, like you mentioned, that when you don't have that support, sometimes you don't follow through. And that really that was amazing. That was really helpful, and being able to be supported by the other women in the group too, and being able to reach out to them. And I've actually grown friendships. Started one with your sister, which that's really cool, to be able to have that closeness and that friendship with someone that you'd never met before, but now because of that program you're actually close, and created something that wasn't there before. What was the other thing you said? Just what I enjoyed.
And then maybe like your experience through Balance and Beautiful. I know you talked about the accountability, and like just to go a little deeper there, I think you're talking about like our sessions every week, how we're jumping on a phone call every single week for 8 weeks for the whole program, and having the group coaching sessions. But I think it goes a little bit further than that too. You you can correct me if I'm wrong, but like in the private Facebook group, and how we're pretty much in constant communication with everyone in the group that kind of holds you accountable, and setting those goals and posting them in the group and having everyone comment and that.
Yeah, and it's good, like, you refreshing my memory, because I did just have, like, I had a crazy month. December was pretty crazy. I lost 2 pets. My sister had a baby really early. I'm having some, like, communication issues with my sister, and that's really hard because she's being really, not herself. And I'm finding too that implementing every day to what I learned from the program, just in my life and in general in my relationships, and I've really grown so much in regards to that, and like how I handle situations and how I handle relationships or my conversations with people, and I'm just a lot more relaxed than I used to be, and I'm not so jumpy, and like I take a minute to like think about what I'm doing instead of, I'm gonna do that because that's what I need to be doing, and like
totally. I think that it sounds kind of like before taking Balanced and Beautiful, the way that you would have reacted to stressful situations would be to obviously get really stressed out and have that be kind of like not an obsession, but it would be something on your mind all day, like thinking about it, negative self-talk, like treating yourself poorly in your mind. And it sounds like now, like through taking the program, it's really changed, where you have some more tools in your tool belt that you can utilize to take down your stress levels and to always get back to like your vision and really what you're holding close.
Yeah, it's very true. Because a lot of the time before, like you said, I'd get really stressed out, and I'd overthink. I'd think stuff about it all day long, or I'd beat myself up about things. And I really learned to just, let go. And that was another huge thing for me that shifted, because I've held on to things for so many years and not let go. And just past relationships or friendships I've let go of, and not feeling bad about that.
Yeah.
And negative self-talk, like I believe someone mentioned it in the program, where we don't think we talk about ourselves that much bad about ourselves, but we really, like, when you think about it, sometimes we do. And I know that was something for me I did a lot of, so that was another huge shift.
Yeah, and I think getting those tools of knowing like exactly what to do to not just stop the negative self-talk, but how to like change it in your mind so that you are able to feel better right away, and that does lead to like a long-term success of doing that. I like how you were talking too about letting go, because that's one of our core concepts, is mastering the art of letting go, and we obviously do that in a lot of areas in our life, not just our fridge and our clothes and the clutter around our house, but also limiting beliefs and negative self-talk. And it's something that we work on every single week, of going to a new area and letting something go. Did you want to talk about your experience around mastering the art of letting go?
Yeah, I find it a lot easier now, is to where before I would hang on to things, even just in general with clothes. Like, that's a small thing that I thought was a small thing, but realistically I held on to clothes from like when I was 16 years old.
Yeah.
So like, it's pretty crazy. Like, and I would just, for no reason, I'd keep them. But yeah, that was a huge thing for me, letting go of clothes and just, yeah,
that's big. I know for me, like the clothes was a big thing. The pantry clean out during prep week is huge. I think that really helps to like set everyone up for success as well. But I do like that every single week we're going to a new area of your life and letting something go, and really practicing and using that muscle. Another thing too, like getting those mega doses of nutrition and getting back to basics with food choices, I think is a really key element to Balanced and Beautiful, but it's so much more than that. Like, it's so much more than just eating clean. It's a lot of, like, Balanced and Beautiful is really like a whole body program, where it's really showing you in all areas of your life how it's more than just food and exercise, even though obviously that's a component of it. And then I guess the other question is just around like gratitude and self-care. Do you want to talk about any changes or any things that you've noticed with that?
Yeah, gratitude. Actually, I'm currently reading a book, and that's another thing I didn't expect to happen, but the program actually got me back into reading, which I absolutely love, and I forgot about and I stopped doing for a lot of years. So I'm currently reading a book called The Gratitude Diaries, and that's just really implementing as well what I've learned in the program, but just reinforcing too, like, gratitude is so important, and it's something that I never really practiced. Like, I'd say thank you for things, but I never really practiced gratitude and really enforced it, and it's really been a huge change in my life. In all relationships, like my relationship with my fiance has changed drastically since I've started really being grateful for all the little things that he does, and same with my daughter. And what was the other thing you said? Sorry.
And self-care.
Self-care, yeah. Self-care. That's something that I did go to yoga. I used to do yoga before the program, but I kind of fell off the wagon of, you know, looking after myself after I had my daughter.
Which is super common.
Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, that was one of the great things about another great thing about the program was being able to really set time aside for myself and not feel guilty about it.
Yeah.
And the hot water bottle, oh my God, I don't know why I never had that before. So simple, but so amazing. Like,
yes. So I know for me, one of the really big things of Balanced and Beautiful where I saw a change, which you also talked about, is just getting back into reading and personal development. Like really making it clear that I know I have to keep pushing myself to the next level just like everyone else does, you know, and I think reading, that was really huge for me. That's something I got back into, and it really showed me not just only one, that I wasn't working on my personal development enough, but how I was wasting time. Like instead now when I'm reading, I used to be like watching TV or doing something that wasn't being beneficial, and obviously as a mom, like we don't have a ton of time. Right? But yeah, that was a really big shift for me as well. I think that like I love what you said about the accountability, because I think that's so key when you're going through programs where you don't follow through and you don't finish the program. I think because there isn't enough accountability and support. I think that was one big thing I know I wanted in Balanced and Beautiful, was just that I wanted there to be, you know, weekly sessions and then complete accountability and support. So if someone was falling like off the wagon, or if they needed some more support, if they were going through something personal, you know, I'm making sure I'm jumping on the phone with them one-on-one, or, you know, making sure that we're not leaving anyone behind. And I think that was, for me, that was like a huge part of it.
Yeah, I have to agree. I think that was another thing, being able to reach out to you and like just personally. I think that was another really big support.
Yeah.
That I really was really grateful for.
Yeah, and I think like I just know for myself on the phone listening to you, I know that's why I wanted to do this video, was because you had such like a drastic change in 8 weeks that I think, you know, I know that there's people out there that are watching this video right now that are where you were at the beginning, you know, like that you don't maybe have the highest self-confidence, and you are feeling out of balance. And I just know that having someone that, you know, like you were hesitant about starting at the beginning, like you weren't 100% like completely committed until we started. And I think as soon as we started, you were like totally sold, and you took all of the recommendations to heart, and you know, you totally changed your life in 8 weeks. So it's massive. You did such an amazing job. So
thank you.
And then, yeah, is there anything else you wanted to share? Any other comments or anything you wanted to make about the program?
Yeah, I just wanted to say that it's really important in life, if you want to grow, that you need to step out of your comfort zone and make the change, because in order for your life to be different, you have to do something you've never done. So
yeah, I totally agree. It's like, if that's such a good point too, that a lot of times we are complaining about the things in our life that aren't going the right way, but I think, you know, you don't really have grounds to complain if you're not willing to change. So you do sometimes have to do something that's a little bit out of your comfort zone, but like what we always talk about in the program is just everything you've ever wanted is on the other side of fear. So if you just push through the fear, I mean, it's only scary the first time that you're doing something new, and the second time it's not so bad. You know, once you get into the program and you're used to it, like, it's good. Like I looked forward every Tuesday to our call. So
yeah, I did too. That was a highlight of my week. And then as well, just following the other things that I was doing, and I looked forward to the emails and the new stuff we were going to be doing, and yeah, I really, really enjoyed just not so much following like guidelines, but like following, you know, the program itself, because it was really enjoyable, all the steps we took, and you know, the people, the friendships, and the things we learned, and I really am grateful.
I'm grateful for you too. But yeah, I think that was another big thing, was like when I designed this program, was knowing that nobody wants to make huge changes right out of the gates. And it's not about making a huge drastic like life change. It's about, I think, the tiny small changes that lead to massive transformations. You know, and I think that the whole program builds on itself, so it's definitely designed that way. So yeah, I think that was a really key component of it as well. And yeah, I think that anyone right now that's watching this video, if you are resonating with Sara and the things that she's talking about, this program is absolutely designed for you. Our next round is starting in the new year, so you can just check my website. You can check balancedandbeautifulwomen.com, and that will take you to all the details you need to know. In order to sign up, you have to sign up for our 3-part video series. I really love this because it gives you kind of a sneak peek of the program. We work on some main things like creating mental white space, all the details of the program, what your future holds, and an exercise, which is one of my favorites, about setting your goals long term. So yeah, once you sign up for that, you get all the details you need to sign up for the program, and we hope we see you in the next round. Bye!